Good morning. It is 6:52 a.m. on Tuesday, March 28th, 2017. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, yesterday I did a bunch more planning for this week's session of So Many Levels. I feel like I've got some interesting stuff in store for my players. But what I also did yesterday is I went ahead and I finished Marvel's Iron Fist on Netflix. And basically nothing that happened in the second half changed my opinion about the first half, which is to say it's got some things to like in it. I don't hate that I watched it, but it's my least favorite of the series so far. And it's just frustrating because there's a number of things that just feel like poor creative decisions. And it's just, and also, it's hard to get past the idea that for the character that is supposed to be the greatest kung fu guy ever, the fights are just not that cool. And I mean, I get that really cool kung fu fights are not like a trivial thing to do. I mean, that's hard, but I feel like when you're making a show about a kung fu guy, that's where you put your money, isn't it? And I don't know, maybe that's judgy, but whatever. I guess just compared to, say, Daredevil, I feel like the fight choreography in Daredevil is better. And, so it's a letdown in that sense. But yeah, there's even aspects of the main character that kind of grew on me as the season progressed. Although he would kind of come and go. There are different aspects of his character that they seemed to want to focus on at different times, and I liked some of those aspects more than others. And just in general, I want to thank my friend Kim Fortuner on Facebook who kind of summed up this idea that I was kind of feeling, which is to say they've chosen as a theme for their show the idea that of a character who has been taught one thing and had a path laid out for him and is not sure he wants to do that path, and he kind of rejects it and then is left feeling kind of lost and unsure who he is or what he wants to be or what he wants to do with his life. And while that's a relatable human emotion, it doesn't really make for compelling superhero drama. And so they've kind of built a show around a guy who doesn't really know who he is or what he wants to do. That's kind of hard to root for. But I will, again, I guess I'll go on the record as saying that some of the people who have gone, I think it's definitely true that online there can be kind of a dogpile effect. Like once something that people had high expectations for starts getting a buzz as being not good, you get people who really want to just write hate pieces on it. And that's true. Some of the pieces, I think, go beyond what this show deserves. But that's not to say that I thought it was good either. Like, I'm not sorry I watched it because it's part of the overall tapestry that I care about. But, yeah, it's not my favorite, and I hope that they'll do better, though I'm not super in love with where they leave things right at the end of the series. And honestly, the Hand, I don't find a particularly compelling villain, so not psyched about that being the big continuing deal here. But whatever. It's, I watched it. I didn't hate all of it. There, in fact, towards the end, there was a pretty great sequence between Colleen and Danny, where they kind of do Tai Chi at each other. And I was watching that and thinking, like, well, see, this is good. Like, why couldn't it have been this show for longer? because like I finally felt the chemistry between them, like for the first time. Anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of my wrap up feelings on Marvel's Netflix, and I don't really feel like I'll need to talk about it ever again. Well, maybe the next time a Marvel Netflix show comes out, it might just have to be, rank it in the scheme. But as it is now, my ranking of the Marvel Netflix shows so far. Let's see. I think I put Jessica Jones first. Luke Cage as second place. Luke Cage, I love the first half, and the second half is weaker. But still overall positive for me. Daredevil Season 1, Daredevil Season 2, which also has the same issue of being... I like the first half more than the second half. And again, that's part of the Hand being the bad guy, I think. I don't especially care about them. And then... the Iron Fists at the bottom. So that's my current ranking, and I've got to get to work, so I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.